Okay, and this one is kind of more, in a sense, a personal thought, you know, and it is about when people tell you, like, you should aim always for your retirement, you know, like your retirement should be your final goal in life. There's retirement, 65, 60, whatever. And you should sacrifice your whole life in a company for a good, you know, retirement. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. This is something very crazy for me to think because when you're older, 65, you know, you're barely gonna have energy. You're barely wanna want to do things that you as a young person, you as 30, 40, 50 still, you still want to try in life. You're telling me that I should wait until 65 so I'm able to live a freedom life to do whatever I wanted to do in my time. I have to wait until 65? Really? Do we actually want to live that life? Do you actually, when I tell you that you actually like to work for somebody, you actually would like to work for somebody for that much time? I think you already hate having to work for somebody already. Having to change your whole life for being able to go to your job because you need to survive. You need to pay your bills. But you, in a sense, you wish you have more money. You wish you wouldn't have to, actually have a better job. You wish all these things. So if you already hate it right now, why do you think you have to wait until 65 for retirement? For start living a life? That for me, that like for me, for you waiting for retirement, you know, you're living hell. If you truly believe in just, I'm just gonna try, I'm just gonna survive my life until I get to retirement so I can actually live. If you actually think that way, that's a personal thought. But for me, that's living hell. For me, having to work for somebody until I am 65, I will completely tell myself I'm a fucking failure and I'm living hell. And I will be pretty depressed. Like, I already know it. And that's never gonna happen. Like, there's no chance, there's no possibility, there is no situation, no scenario in my head that could be possible. Because I have to believe that I'm meant for something bigger. Like, I'm not meant for what society tells you that, retirement, it is something that you should aim for, that should be your only goal. I'm not saying that you shouldn't open, a retirement account. Like, let's be honest, it's still gonna be money that if you invest since you're young, it's 30, $40, you're gonna have a lot of money that you can live for your family. It's good to get that account. I'm not saying don't open an account. Don't think about retirement. No, no. I'm just saying that shouldn't be your final goal in life to start living your life. If you know that you don't want to live that life, you don't need to. You don't need to. You need to find a way to live a different life, the life that you want to live, in your own decisions. It's gonna be hard. You're never gonna know what's gonna be the perfect idea, the perfect the business. You're never gonna know, how you're gonna make it until you actually put yourself into walking that path. The only way to know these answers is when you decide to, in a sense, put something blind up by your eyes and just keep walking. Keep walking. You're gonna keep falling, but you keep walking and keep walking and keep walking. And suddenly, when you're walking, it's just like that thing that you put in your head to cover your eyes just fall off, and everything just clicks. Everything just clicks, and you start to get more ideas, and you start to going for more things. Everything recently, just out of nowhere, everything just clicks. But it was because you were able to walk, and when you couldn't see anything, you were able to just walk and walk and walk, fall. A lot of times you failure, but every failure you get up and you keep walking and keep walking and keep walking, and suddenly everything clicks. You found your purpose, you found your reason, you found your idea, and then your life completely changes. Because now you're turning your whole energy into this idea, into this craft that it will take you to another reality. Now you're waking up with a purpose. Now you're waking up. Now you know where you're gonna put your energy towards. Not a lot of people know in their life where to put their energy, where to put their time. Why? Because it allowed everything external, to in a sense take their whole energy. You're working a 9 to 5. You're coming home and you watch Netflix. You're going to bed and you repeat your day every day. You repeat your same day every day. Go to work, come home, snacks, TV, whatever, YouTube, whatever. Repeat and repeat and repeat. You're not doing something for a better life. You're just deciding to stay there. You're deciding to. It's hard, of course, to have a job and then finding more time for yourself, but you still need to find that time, because if not, you're never gonna see a change. If you're not investing in yourself after work, I'm sorry, this is gonna be pretty hard for you, because you are gonna stay stuck in the same position for a long time if you don't invest in yourself with something else. If you don't learn a skill, if you don't learn something that you can bring to the market, you will always be working for somebody. That's something that you have to learn, and that's a hard reality. If you don't bring something to the community, if you don't bring a skill, you will always be working for somebody else's dream, and you will never be able to accomplish your dream, because you never had the courage to know about yourself. Because we all can bring something to a community. We all can bring something to the world. For some people will be bigger, some people will be small, but you still can bring something to a community to change a life that you have in this moment. You can always change it for the better. The more you know yourself, the more greater things you can bring for yourself.